Hello, everyone. So today we have Stan, a regional manager from Centennial College for South Asia, and he's been in Pakistan for the last 1 week, and today is the last day. So we thought to have a candid conversation with Stan and about his experience and how warm the people are in Pakistan or not. So, hello, Stan. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hello, Waqas. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, it will be great to share some insights and to provide some details to, to navigate through this interesting education path to Canada.
Awesome. Is this your first time in Pakistan or?
No, actually, I was here the first time in September.
Mhm.
So it was the short trip. I was mainly in Lahore. This time, I a bit expanded. I was in Islamabad for a couple of days as well. So second time, but I plan to be here more often.
How
So
did you like the capital versus Lahore?
I don't know, like it's hard to say honestly. No, you know that like because what we're doing there, like talking to the students, it's mainly I would say work related. So I didn't unfortunately didn't see much, but definitely there is a plan to do so. And I asked some people, what they love about Pakistan, and all of them tell me that they love the country and they forced me to explore. So I guess this is a plan for me next time to do definitely. But first you told me, you already mentioned that. I mean, people are great. That's I'm enjoying. Weather is good this time because last time it was super hot. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So, what do you think we do for entertainment? I know you came here and it was all work for you,
Yeah.
but like, what are your thoughts on Pakistanis and entertainment? Like, you've been here, you saw some weddings, you were
Yeah.
staying at the Pearl Continental Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed I'm not sure it's Lahore thing or Islamabad as well. Like a lot of people about food, right? So see a lot of places like with people with kids staying overnight and this nice place. That's good. I like it. Well, and all my trip was around these cricket matches, right? So I guess it's also a big thing that I've
Yeah.
noticed, right? So I guess, yeah, is that something else I missed?
No, cricket and food, that's what it's all about. No, I think you came at a very busy time when we have the Champions Trophy going on, and you're staying at Pearl Continental Hotel, which is the.
So some players in Serena Hotel
Oh,
in
yeah?
Islamabad. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So you've stayed also about Stan. What I've noticed is that Stan has stayed at most hotels in Pakistan and can give a really good review from Serena to Avari to Pearl Continental, and he has an opinion about it. So, which
yeah.
is the best out of all?
Serena.
Serena,
Yeah, and for Lahore, I like Nishat maybe more than.
Nisha,
Yeah, that too.
more
Yeah,
than PC and Avari.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So, so you're based in Toronto, right?
Yeah. So
Tell us about your life in Toronto, and then we can continue with the.
sure, yeah. So I'm based in Toronto. I worked with Centennial for 7 years, I guess.
No.
So like, but pretty long time in international education. I guess it's more than 10 years I'm in the field, doing different market, different countries, and trying to help students from all over the world, like to help their dreams to come true, and to actually to tell like real stories and like real picture of what's going on in Canada itself, right? So for me, I'm based in Toronto. I work in the great team at Centennial College at enrollment management office. So, and my role is about on managing admissions and recruitment piece for international students. And we have a big team here. Here in Toronto, and we also have a lot of other teams in a lot of other countries. Like we have like offices, like more than 10 offices globally. And yeah, so that's about it.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about Centennial, and then we can circle back to it. Like, what is
Sure.
Centennial about? Is it a
Yeah.
college or a
Yeah,
university?
sure, definitely. So Centennial is a public college located in Toronto, as we just discussed, right? So we're first public college. We also we're proud to be like global and big institution with more than 200,000 international alumni. So like just short story about us. Like we started as a small community college like 6 years ago, and right now we're a globally recognized institutions with 30,000 students, with more than 10 offices internationally, with the satellite offices like have office also we have sorry the campus in China as well, right? With a big team. We also have students from more than 140 countries in our campuses. So we're really global institution with global recognition credentials, and we really would like to spread the word and to explain and kind of to educate the students here the great opportunities that Canada are offering, right? So this is actually our big job to help international students to come to Canada and to adapt, to start their education path, but also what is important, what will be after that. So we really care about it. And I would say this is the main thing that we and our department personally care about. We support the students. We have a lot of services that they could use, starting from immigration advice, career services, to like connecting them with the employers and connecting them and through different networking events. And so that's about it.
Awesome. And you said 60 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, one question that comes to a lot of minds in Pakistan when you talk about a Canadian college is that recently Canada closed down on many colleges. So, is Centennial not one of them, or 60 years?
Yeah,
One
I've
of the
mentioned.
five colleges in
Yeah, I've
Toronto.
mentioned we're a public institution,
Right.
right? So the one you're talking about, it might be connected to some private institutions, right?
Got
So
it.
we're actually the first Ontario public college, which means that we're publicly funded, which means that we're, as I've said, recognized. We're an institution that provides very high level of education, and our credentials are recognized globally as well, because we do have more than 1,000 pathways to universities after. And I would say like maybe 70% will be within Canada and 30% will be international pathways, right? Which means that if you would like to study with us, you could continue your education, I don't know, like
Mm.
in Italy, in China, in Mexico, in Spain, in Ireland, like everywhere.
So just not restricted to Canada, it has international
No, no,
agreements.
no.
And what about universities in Canada? Like, how do you compare? I heard you at few seminars talking about
Mhm.
how a college is sometimes better than a university in terms of facilities and personalization.
Yeah,
Just to clarify, a community college, what usually comes to mind, Pakistan
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about and the perception you're talking about. So in Canada, it's a little different. Like the college education, like it's not better or worse, right? We don't need to compete. We just provide in a bit of um, different profile of education, I would say,
Mhm.
right? The college education is more focused on aligning with the job market, with aligning with practical experience, practical knowledge, and actually how to use it in the job market, right? For us, I would like if you're talking about universities, their KPIs will be rankings, like how they are doing towards other institutions, research, and all of that stuff. For colleges, it will be our main KPIs will be what is it employers satisfied with our students? What is the employment rate, right? So and towards these two important KPIs, we're in top three in colleges in Ontario, right? So we have more than 93% of employability rate for our
Yes.
students. So this is about it. And talking like going back to previous question, right? The facilities that we offer, they're amazing. There's a lot of investment that the colleges do, sorry, for that. And sometimes, you're right, they're even better than the universities because colleges, they were expanding so much for the last 10 years in Canada, and colleges were even focused a bit more for international students. And there's a reasoning for that because, as I've said, colleges are more aligned with the job market, right? And international students are coming to Canada not only to study, but also to explore the option after study, right? They have ability to work and if they would like to become a resident and so on and so on. That's why the college education became very popular worldwide, but not to Pakistan yet. I mean, that's why I'm here, kind of to spread the word. And talking about facilities, right? We have high-end residents. We have amazing labs. Like I don't know, like it's hard to explain. It's better like to see. And I hope like next time you will be Daniel, we could do some videos like to showcase to the students how it looked like. But those are amazing. Like I told you right that we have aerospace campus,
Mhm.
right? So the college system just it's not like as you mentioned the community college who's doing a couple of programs. No, we offer more than 200 programs, and it's from artificial intelligence to architecture to aircraft engineering, right? As I've said, we have aviation campus with the brand new jets and helicopters, which actually will be like the labs for the students, like it's like it's actual jet, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah. And you mentioned that your aviation department is school is also linked with a Bombardier. So
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. So actually, our campus is called Bombardier
sorry.
Campus of Aviation, and we have very tight relationship with Bombardier. Like a lot of our students are having internships and like and employed after that.
Awesome. So this is great to know because aviation is a very popular subject, and I know there's a huge difference between almost for 4 years students have to spend anywhere from $100,000 to two hundred fifty
Yeah,
thousand dollars for a university degree, whereas they can achieve your credential at $40,000 for
yeah,
2 years,
yeah.
around that ballpark.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. It's one more advantage actually to look at the colleges, right? Because it's more affordable, it's flexible. It also gives you same opportunities, right? I mean, like if you study 2 years in the college, then you could apply for a work permit in Canada up to 3 years, right? And use this experience and see what do you want to do next, right? If you want to do university after, great. You could always do it. You could transfer your credits and like do this later on, or you could just be open to the job market and continue your journey in Canada, right? And I guess I don't know, you're the great example as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
You could tell your story, right? Because you also was a student in Canada, and
Yeah, a long time ago, 2001, arrived in
doesn't matter.
Canada, a lot of culture shock. And then I went to a university. I wish I would have started off with the college first,
Hmm.
scale it out a bit, start in the beginning, and then maybe finish up the degree in two different credentials, starting off with the college, maybe with IT or business, and get
Hmm.
over with business in my college life, and then maybe do something more technical in the university or vice
Yeah.
versa. So, no, definitely.
I have more recent experience as well, right? Because I was also studying in
You were also a
Canada,
student, yeah.
and I'm Centennial College alumni,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So I was also studying at Centennial, and like 2018, I guess. Time
Very
flies, right?
recent, yeah.
Time flies. But I could tell you that was a great experience, right? It helped me a lot. I mean, it helped me a lot to adapt to the education system, right, and to understand what is required, what is the difference if you compare like education in different countries, what is the difference about college education. I'd say the main thing was like a lot of like teamwork,
Mhm.
right, and I enjoyed it much. As I mentioned, right, we have students from more than 100 countries, so you could, and great, you have this experience, like different views, different people, with students from Nigeria, China, India, Vietnam, Colombia, and so on and so on.
So, what program were you taking at Centennial when you went? In
I
what
was
was?
do I was doing marketing management at
Okay,
the time.
perfect for you. You're
Yeah,
in,
yeah, it's related, right, to what I'm doing right now.
and now you're working with Centennial. You're working as a manager, so you made your way up. That's a
Yeah.
very difficult position to get into because these are public colleges, and like I worked as a recruiter for a few years, and I realized I was doing recruitment for schools and private colleges. A really easy recruitment
Hmm.
process, and it gives a chance. I would never expect an international student
Yeah.
getting into a college, into the workforce, and then making it way up. It's quite unique. So I guess there's opportunity for everyone coming to Canada.
That was I about to say. It's really common, I would say, in Canada because it's open for opportunities. If you really, I don't know, if you're focused, if you would like to build your career, Canada is really open for that. There is no limitations to new people coming, to
Hmm.
how you call them, immigrants or newcomers.
Hmm.
No limitations in that. Yeah, my story could be good, but I know a lot of stories that much better, right? So, but I mean that it's Canada is really open for opportunities, and if you would like to succeed, you will succeed. That's for
Awesome.
sure. I know it for personal experience, from experience for a lot of my friends, and you know, you just need to give it a try.
Speaking of friends, like, do you find people friendly in Toronto, or are they too busy, just like some other cosmopolitans? Or
Well, Canada is really friendly. I mean,
yeah,
you will figure it out once first you will just enter, and go to, border offices, whatever. They will be smiling and saying, thank you, whatever. How was your day? Canada is really friendly. And Toronto itself, yeah. And Toronto is funny. I mean, because as I've said, we have so many people from different countries in
yeah,
our campus. Same like Toronto is about that. It's multicultural city. I guess one of the most multicultural one in the world. Like you will see a lot of experiences, a lot of different people, a lot of I don't know, and they all of them they live together, friendly, nicely, smiling, and all of this.
I think
Um,
Canadian culture is all about diversity and bringing together of so many cultures
yeah,
and living the Canadian way.
yeah, and definitely, and we have a very good Pakistani community as well. And if you will be, homesick, or will be, needing some, I don't know, barbecue or whatever you
Yeah.
like to eat,
We
you will
love
find it there.
barbecue. Barbecue is the thing. I just want to get two things out of the way. That is, like, I know a lot of people listening to this podcast must be thinking, what about housing? What about jobs?
Yeah.
So, and then we try explaining it to the students, like what they see on media is not everything.
Yeah.
There's a life beyond that, and that's why no Pakistani student is coming back after completing their education or leaving it midway. They
Yeah.
they want to achieve the Canadian dream, the friendly immigration policy, etc. But what do you have to say about these two main issues? Like, what's your feedback or what's your take on that?
I'd say it's mainly, unfortunately, become negative in media at
Mm-hmm.
certain countries, and then it's spread out. We have, like, I'm not sure if there is any single country that doesn't have any issues, right? But it's not like you will see it in the media. I would say for accommodation, I didn't see any issues right now, especially in the big cities like in Toronto. Talking about Centennial, right? We have a residence which is close to the campus. We're providing lots of other options like off campus options as well, and we have the services to help students to find it. I don't see that it's an issue right now. I, anyway, I don't see there, right? Like I talk to a lot of students. I talk to like how do they find accommodation, whether it's affordable or not. How is that? Right now, I see that actually it's becoming a bit better than let's say a year ago. So it's on the right track. Honestly, I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's on the right track right now.
And speaking on the same note, if the students are coming to Canada and taking some of your programs, which would be highly recommended programs for a student to take with different backgrounds,
Sure. Yeah.
which are in line with the sort of labor market shortage, which
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of a new reality for Canada, but it's just a good thing, I would say, because right now, honestly, it's a perfect time for students to come to Canada. Before it was open, I would say, for all the programs, any background, and then students were a bit lost because they were not sure how to start the journey. I mean,
right.
they're like find a first job and whatever. Right now, we are looking towards certain professions, like certain fields. There is a labor need, sorry, in Canada. So talking about this, it will be mainly in STEM, in healthcare, in trades, and in transportation. And we have a lot of programs offered in these fields. We have more than 60 programs that the students could do. Why I'm saying it's great time right now, because as an example, we know that I know like nurses are in demand, is in shortage in Ontario, and we have practical nursing program, right? Which means that if student decide to go and study on this program, there's very high chances to find a good job just after graduation. This is all about it, and there are good chances, to succeed because right now the programs are becoming more, I would say, not limited, but like it's more focused on the areas that I've just mentioned, right? And that's why it's a perfect time to come right now. It's a perfect time to start your education, and then if you as a student would like to continue that, Canada is great destination to offer a lot of other things.
So you said like two, three key areas: logistics, healthcare, and one other area. Would you like to highlight like one or two programs underneath each category?
Yeah,
So
sure. So
especially healthcare, it's very popular.
yeah, so if we're talking about healthcare, I would say it's practical nursing, it's pharmacy technician. We also have a shortage of early childhood
Hmm.
educators, so those will be the programs that are in need. The same as like biotechnologist, same as food and nutrition. Talking about STEM, like it's a lot of programs in engineering, right? It's all IT related programs like software engineering, artificial intelligence. Those are all also in need in Canada, I would say. Talking about transportation, aviation is one of those kind of that we talked about already. Or engineering and aviation, right? Also, we have supply chain management program, which will be related to international trade, to logistics, and like and everything related to that. What is next? Trade, like for us, like we don't offer much in trades, but we have electrical techniques program, for
Okay.
example.
And you need an apprenticeship in that, or
No, no,
okay,
no. International students, I guess they're not allowed to do apprenticeship, so
okay,
it's not kind of the case there.
got it, got it. So no, that's thank you so much for sharing all that valuable information. That's really helpful for our students.
The main message that I'd like also to mention, and that we talked about it, that Canada is welcoming as usual, friendly as usual, right? I know there is certain negativity, but what I would suggest for for the people who are watching us,
Mhm.
please trust the people that have really great experience and knowledge, such as Waqas and admission advisors, because we work with for a lot of years, and we know that how diligent you are, like how you take it seriously, how success of every student is like important to you. So it's really important for you to get the information from the right source, right? Please Don't look at the like some social media, like posts and all of this. It could be true, could be not, but it's a lot of speculation out of it. So that's why I'm here, like just to spread the word and saying that Canada is a great destination. It's still welcoming, it's still friendly, and it will give you lots of opportunities. Like, and I know, and we have great examples even
Mhm.
in this room.
Right. Two examples
Yeah,
then.
100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, those are great words, kind words. Thank you so much. We keep explaining this to the student, but it's a UK dominant market. A lot of
Hmm.
students like going to UK. They want to go to Canada, but then they're skeptical. First, they were skeptical with the visa, but when they start getting visa
Oh
with
yeah.
STS,
Let's talk about this one, by the way, because
hmm,
visa piece, yes. I mean, but what I would like to say that it's not unique to Pakistan, right?
hmm,
The approval rate globally for Canada is around like 60%, right? And Pakistan is a bit below this level. So what I'm saying that yes, it's not so easy to get a visa, but again, with the proper support, with the team that you have and with you, I really hope it will be easier, it will be smooth process because there are certain things that when officers are looking towards that, and there are certain things why they refuse the application, right? But if you know like how to advise properly, what should be kind
hmm,
of what should be there. Honestly, I feel that it's a question about the awareness of what is important, what documents should be provided, and when let's say application is not completed or not enough
hmm.
documents here and there, that's why obviously it's refused, right? So the
Agreed.
more I would say the more we'll have awareness about education in Canada, the more applications we'll have, then the approval rates will go higher. I believe in that.
No, I think all the support is needed. And then speaking of support, Border Pass is there,
Mm-hmm.
where you have a regulated Canadian Immigration Service along with the for a small fee that is being offered. So all these small things, and we do offer RCIC service as well to support the student. And we with this podcast and otherwise, we try to create that awareness to
Yeah,
do all the do's and then see how it goes. Right?
that's what I'm saying. It's important
Sorry.
to find the right person, right? And we're always happy to help, and then you're always happy to help. So if you're watching us, like feel free to connect with any educational institution you'd like to connect, and you will know this information from the first place. And yeah, I mean, we try to provide any support that we could do. We try to be honest and to share the experience that is you will actually get it right, because the main thing if you're traveling and like if you go and not traveling, go and study abroad, is
Hmm.
to have clear expectations, right? Well, I want to be honest, and you know this as well from your experience. It's not easy. It's not maybe for everyone, but you need to think what you will get out of it. What is the return of this investment of your life, of your finances, and so from my experience, maybe from yours, it's worth it, right? Then you will, if you would like to have a better life, if you would like to have a better education, if you would like to have certain experience and knowledge that you could bring, Canada is really great country for that, and
No,
that's true.
no, Stan. I honestly believe like my main narrative about Canada is the continuity, the opportunity it gives you to for the ROI, the return on your investment is awesome. Like the ease of getting the postgraduate work permit,
Hmm.
which is almost unconditional as long as you graduate, and it has to be the right program. Other countries, it's still a mission impossible to get through these ifs and buts.
Hmm.
Whereas Canada, it's usually a matter of when. And then with the immigration too, there's so many various programs by the Immigration Canada that can help international student transition to that. I see with other destination like Australia or even UK, which is pretty much ends with your education, a symbolic work permit, and you're back in Pakistan. And a lot of students, when they go here, they're looking for international educational experience, but they're also looking for the right to work in those international markets and to get a return on investment for spending so much money. Would you like to tell us about the amazing price tag you have with the Centennial College yearly fee for undergraduate and postgraduate programs?
Sure. The fees will be around the same for undergrad and postgrad. I would say it's around 18 to 19,000 Canadian dollars per one academic year.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's easier in US dollars, it's like 14,000 US dollars per year. We also offer scholarship for certain programs. So if you applying for a program then more than 2 years in duration,
Mm-hmm.
will also be you could be eligible for a scholarship for $4,000, right? Which could make the fees even more affordable, I would say, right? So if you compare with universities, again, back to that question, it's one more also kind of advantage to do that. Let's say start with the college where you could save some money, have some work experience to figure out Do you like Canada? Would you like to continue or not? If you like, you're free to stay, apply to university, have your pathway after that. There is one path, or continue your work experience after that. So college give you this flexibility, affordability, and it will open you up. Like it will help you to adapt because,
Hmm.
as I said, we invested a lot in the services,
Hmm.
a lot. Like we have, from career services to mental health
Hmm.
support and
Hmm.
so on, so on. This
Hmm.
is what college is doing.
How you see pathway towards university from a college?
Mm-hmm.
They can finish the 2 years at college, maybe get their PR after some time working and getting the PR. They can also get a domestic fee rate after that,
Yeah,
and
it
not
could
to
be the
worry about
yeah.
achieving their Canadian university
Could,
education
yeah,
dream.
it could be the case. Some students are doing that, right? Like it's a smart way, actually, right?
Yeah.
Because if you calculate, let's say, 4 years in university, right, and like I don't know, you could calculate like depending on university, but it will be much more than compared to 2 years or 3 years in the college level, right? So definitely, it makes sense. And also, I was in the school, right, and we talked to some students about it. It will take out some stress out of the student, right? Because if student come into new country with a lot of new things coming up, like we want to be honest, it's not easy, right? Like it's a cultural shock, it's new language, new people, new food, everything new, right? And then if he knows that okay, his parents are invested like 50,000 for like,
Hmm.
and this is like commitment for 4 years, he might be feeling the stress. That's saying if I fail, I will kind of, that my family will fail or something like that, right? In college, it's a bit different because like their flexibility, duration of programs are shorter.
Hmm.
They could also technically change to another program, like to have some red needs and so ever. So it's importantly will get out some of the mental stress out of the student because it's important, right? Like if you're, let's say, a student coming alone, the new country, not easy.
And with the jobs they do off campus during it's about 20 22 hours per week,
24.
24 hours per week. And with that, you think they're able to make up for their living and food?
I mean, I don't want to say yes, everyone for
Hmm.
sure. You don't need to know.
Right,
There is certain, rule by when you're applying for study permit that you need to have certain amount
right.
of money, and I really suggest to follow it. But there are part-time jobs. We even have lots of part-time jobs on campus.
Okay.
As an example, I was also when I was a student, I was also working on campus. I was working in international department, right? I know a lot of students work in gym, student center, library, cafeteria, and so on, so on. Out of campus, they also could work any part-time jobs available. A lot of students are doing working in even restaurants or doing some Uber driving or whatever. It's still fine. You're a student, you get an experience, you get some connections, right? And then it's a fun student life, right? Like I really suggest students to do it, but again, don't forget you're there to study, right? This is
Right.
important thing.
That's a primary goal. Yeah. So, no, I think with this $18,000 a year and 2 years, $36,000, that's the university price is 30 40% more than that, even for 1 year. And this is a whole qualification.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That probably makes it possible for many students to actually
yeah.
study and find a way into the Canadian education scene.
Yeah, and as I've said, like you might not need degree right away. Doesn't matter where to finish. You will start with some certain entry level jobs if you do it after college or the university, right? And then like after a couple of years, if you feel they need it to kind of to boost your experience and to be promoted and to know more, definitely we really advise students to go to university to upgrade. Canada is a lot about that. Like when I
Hmm.
was studying, I was like 27 by that time, but I have
Hmm.
one student who was like 60 something. So it's all about it. Like you could study any year, like, but it doesn't matter like how old you are. It's, it's kind of,
So are you encouraging those 50-year-old students to apply too, or?
and they could, why not?
Yeah, why not? This is exactly what this is a good point, because for some of the students who are above the age of 35, they think they cannot apply, or 40 years old, they think this is now they're never going to get visas. And I personally, in my last 20 years of student recruitment for Canadian
Hmm.
schools, I've seen those visas, and but it's just the number of applicants are very few. I guess that's an upgrade. College education is great, top up for anyone trying to get into any
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, sure.
It's awesome. And about Canada, about Toronto. So tell us about what you do in your free time in Toronto. Like, what are your hobbies and interests?
Well, it depends, right? But
Beside work, of course,
yeah, I mean,
or
like,
beside advocating
oh my
Centennial?
gosh, we
You seem like a workaholic, but
I do like, and we talk off camera. Like it's for me, it's 24/7 right now. But like it depends what time of year it is, right?
I mean,
Let's
you're
say,
so focused that in the last 1 week since you've been here, I never got a chance to ask you this question. We never got to that point where I would, because we were always, working and visiting schools and
yeah,
being on the road and meeting so many amazing students. So,
yeah.
what are
No,
your interests?
I'm trying to keep my weekends, for me and for my family. I have a lovely family. I have a son, and
Nice.
spending time walking. I like cycling. I play tennis. Winter is a bit different, because it's a bit cold in Toronto, I would say. So we need to be more creative what to do. But I like to be outside, and winter sports is also nice. So I mean, I don't know what last month I visited some hockey match, and also did some ice skating. It's fun, I guess, for Pakistani people, right? If you never do you have snow here? I don't know.
We have snow in some part of Pakistan,
So I'm
in
not
the
sure
north,
how it works, right? That
but
if you
it's an anomaly for us to have to the snow, and we would love to in Lahore a little bit of it.
so you could explore, and there are a lot of like even like even 2 hours from Toronto is like a Blue Mountains, right? If you like
Hmm.
skiing or snowboarding, but there are also a lot of like small kind of ski centers, like within like 30 minutes drive from Toronto. So I also like to do it like
They're not
sometimes.
artificial like Dubai
No,
Mall.
no, no, no. They're
Like
real.
Dubai Mall, they have an.
I know. Those are real. Yeah. So actually, one is not so far from our campus. I mean, if you go a bit north, like it's 20 minutes drive, I guess. So yeah,
But the golf is indoor in the summer. They have those indoor golf
yeah.
courses, and those. Have you seen those flying indoors? Like, is the parachute jumping?
Oh, got it. Yeah, yeah,
It's indoors during the winters. So yeah, a lot of stuff is indoors in Toronto. So
yeah.
it's easier to get through the summers,
Honest,
winters.
but
It's
honestly, like last winter was very mild. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
I was never even, I guess, use a winter jacket. This one is a bit cold. I mean, right
Yeah.
now it's like +5. Oh, sorry, -5, -10. So I know it's cold for.
But I think Toronto is great. It's never as cold as other parts of Canada, like
Oh no,
Manitoba or
no, it's
Saskatchewan or.
yeah, it's mild and it has like technically it's kind of four season.
Mhm.
Like summer is amazing, fall and spring is also nice. I mean, weather is like comfortable, I would say. Winter, no one likes winter, but again, you could find a way to like it. I have so many friends from Nigeria that enjoy the snow scene, like we love it. Like and they're so much in love with this weather. So
They love snow. Yeah, the weather is equally hot there in
yeah.
Nigeria. So, and speaking of that, different cultures. What is your favorite cuisine in Toronto? Because I know we get everything there. Like, so,
Favorite. I don't
like,
know.
are
I
you?
like Italian. I like
Mhm.
Greek. I like Turkish. I like Japanese. What about you?
Well, I think I'm getting into the Georgian food right now.
Oh yes,
I
yeah.
told you
This,
about it,
yeah,
so I think I'm gonna try some Georgian restaurant. But then again, everything Korean. I love the Korean woks, the
yeah,
Korean grill. It's an
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
experience to go. And then the Thai food is really good in Toronto at some places. Of course, Pakistani food in Toronto, home away from home, is like how people are so
yeah,
connected to food here. So to connect with the Pakistani food there, and then of course of Iranian food, Turkish, so
yeah,
many options, Lebanese.
yeah. I agree. No, like
Toronto is
Toronto is famous for that. I mean, you could find like very like affordable options as well, very quality food from elsewhere.
Mhm.
That's why I love it. Especially if you go downtown or Chinatown, you will find a lot.
Yeah, Chinatown is amazing. It's very close to where I live, so it's amazing. Thank you so much for being us with today and being in Pakistan.
Yeah,
I hope you'll like our country and the
I do.
people
I do.
and the warmth. And we welcome you again to be here soon again and after the summers
Yeah. No,
because it gets really hot in summers.
it's pleasure to be here. I really love people in Pakistan. I like the vibes and like I like how people are open and like how smart they are and students are really smart. So
We're
like
not like how you hear on media.
yeah,
It's
you see,
different.
same thing. So
Same thing in India,
Canada
right?
is not
Same
yeah
thing in
Canada is not
Canada,
hearing
yeah.
media, but no, like just before we finished, like last year, like last time I was here it was my birthday,
Yeah.
right? And then airport, like when lady saw that my birthday, she started to sing like happy birthday. That's how I mean. Okay, I love you. Like I love Pakistan people. Like even in Canada, sometimes you will not see
Yeah.
that. So I like the openness, like that. I don't know. It's so friendly, so I feel very very comfortable here. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you for being here and honoring us to be among us and visiting our beautiful country.
Sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Stan,
Yeah.
and hoping to have you here again soon.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.